Matters education, even as Kenyans come to terms with the deadly school in Tutumishi girls that claimed the lives of 16 girls. It appears a new wave of school unrest is slowly creeping in secondary schools. Several national schools have been hit by the unrest, forcing their closure by education authorities. As Benturo Kumboka now reports, 3 national schools have been closed down over the last 2 days, begging the question, what is ailing our schools?
A fresh wave of school unrest has rocked the country, with over 10 schools closed down just days after the Utumishi girls' fire tragedy that claimed 16 lives. With a new pattern now emerging affecting C1, or formerly national schools, being hit by the new wave of unrest.
The fact that we are having C1 schools, the ones we've known as national schools, are being affected, or appraisals coming from there. This is where it's hitting most, because just last term we onboarded so many numbers of grade 10 students to these C1 schools.
For the past 2 days alone, 3 C1 national schools, Lenana School, Loreto High School Limuru, and Moi Forces Academy Lanet, have been closed down due to strikes. According to education expert Boaz Waruku, congestion in institutions of learning have been attributed to the rise of strikes due to competition of resources and a lack of particularized attention.
There's congestion heavy congestion. I would also attribute it to, because of that congestion, now the students are probably not getting the particularized attention. A household where there are so many children, each struggling for attention. So maybe this is the reason why some of them are now trying to send a message so that see me here, raising their hand, raising their voice, acting in a particular manner.
With over 10 schools closed days apart within the past 5 days, education stakeholders attribute an array of systemic failures, including a weak linkage between prefects, teachers and students.
The prefectship kind of a structure, the ones that they are having, probably the students themselves are seeing not to be representing their views. These are young people who are just trying to flex and just stretch to see how far can they go. And actually they know, they always act together.
Further, a coordinated action through digital gadgets like phones have been blamed for the growing pattern of students' unrest.
Much as we block these digital gadgets from school, the phones, I suspect that there could be some students that have them, because it's more of a coordinated kind of action. I'm saying these are still really speculative, but seeing the pattern, it cannot be an isolated pattern.
This term alone, over 100 schools have been hit by unrest, experts saying a wholesome approach is needed to restart students back on track.
This is becoming a societal problem, and a societal problem requires a little bit more concerted effort. The leadership would have been expecting from the CS, I think we are on our own, because it appears that nobody is listening. He doesn't even understand. He is doing always things which are not necessarily the core for education.
Benturo Kumboka, KTN.
Now, 8 years ago, Butere Girls High School